Hi, welcome to Lesson 2B, Water. Water plays a vital role on Earth. It shapes the Earth's surface and ecosystems that support life and is essential to our climate, plants, and animals. In this lesson, we will discover how something as small as a leaking faucet can contribute to a large amount of wasted energy. This investigation will answer the following question, located on page 25 of your student guidebook. How much water is wasted by a dripping faucet? Before we begin, here are the materials you will need for this investigation. First, an empty 2-quart carton. A milk or juice carton is easily accessible at home. Next, water. Third, a small sewing needle or push pin to poke a small hole at the bottom of the empty carton. Fourth, you need a graduated cylinder or measuring cup. Fifth, a timer. And finally, a beaker or cup to catch dripping water. Before we begin this investigation, it's important to consider the energy used in extracting, processing, and receiving the water we use every day. Freshwater and energy are linked together in many ways. We often take for granted the amount and ease with which we use water on a daily basis. Let's consider the process and energy it takes to get water to our faucets. Water is extracted from the ground or a surface source and must be pumped from that site to the treatment plant. Each pump uses energy to run. At the treatment facility, pumps and other machinery clean and filter the water so it is safe to drink. The water is then carried at a high pressure through pipes to your home or school. When we use the water, there are softeners and filters that remove unpleasant tastes and odors, as well as heaters that heat the water. All of these devices and processes use energy. Finally, after you've used the water, it has to go somewhere. In most areas, water is sent through a series of sewer pipes to a wastewater treatment facility, where pumps and other machinery clean and filter it before releasing it back into the natural environment. At every stage of our water usage, significant amounts of energy are required. If you can reduce the amount of water you use, you will also be reducing the amount of energy you use. Before starting the investigation, take a moment to think about some ways in which you can reduce the amount of water you use every day.
To get started on this investigation, first you want to have your empty container and you want to make sure that you've used a needle or a push pin to make a small hole in the bottom of the container so that you have water leaking out. And this is mimicking a leaky faucet. If you do have a leaky faucet in your home and you want to test that faucet directly, please do so. But for our investigation today, we're going to kind of use this empty carton to mimic a leaking faucet. And what we're going to do is we're going to let this faucet drip for 10 minutes and see how much water is actually wasted by having a leaky faucet in your home. So what we'll do is I've already poured my water into my container, and you want to pour water to have your container about halfway full so that there is enough water to last for the 10 minutes. And you're going to place it over something that can collect that dripping water. So whether it be a measuring container like I have, and you can just sit it directly over the container. If you have a bowl and you have two stacks of books, you can set your container over the books and collect the water that way. So there's multiple options. You just have to use what you have at home and what works best for you. So I am going to leave mine over my measuring cup and let it drip for 10 minutes. So to complete the chart in your student guidebook, first, I'm going to post my example data on the slide after this video so that you can use that if you need to. And like I said, your numbers will be different than mine. But to fill out my chart, I would do 30 milliliters of water loss after 10 minutes. That would be my first thing that I fill in. The next column is asking you to find how much water loss per minute that is. So I would take my 30 milliliters and divide by 10, and I would get 3 milliliters. Then I'm going to find out how much water loss that is per day from my leaking faucet. So I would take my 3 times 1,440, and I would get 4,320 milliliters. Next, I'm going to convert that to liters. Think about a liter of pop. It's something that you can really kind of easily see. So I would take my 4,320 milliliters and divide by 1,000 to get 4.32 liters. And finally, you're going to find out how many liters of water loss that would be per year for your leaking faucet. So you would take your 4.32 liters and multiply times 365. And so my water loss for my one leaking faucet is 1,576.8 liters a year. So imagine how many liters of water that is just for my one leaky faucet. So after you've completed this investigation, we want you to think about ways that you can conserve. And in addition, if you do have leaking faucets in your home and you have your student kit with you, you have aerators that you can install that will hopefully fix some of your leaking faucets.
To further build on this lesson, please complete the personal water use investigation on page 26 and 27 of your student guidebook. This will help you think about the time you spend using water and how you can change your habits to better save. The personal water use survey asks you to estimate the time and gallons of water you use during daily activities, like showering and brushing your teeth. After monitoring this for one day and recording your estimates, you will then brainstorm conservation methods and repeat the survey, putting into practice these methods. The goal is to see if this impacts the time and amount of water you use. On this slide, you will see the actual gallons column completed for you to use as you complete your own investigation. In your student guidebook, these columns are left blank, and you will need these numbers to help think about your own water usage and conservation methods. We hope these investigations will prompt you to think about your water usage and become more energy efficient. Thanks so much for watching.